Welcome back to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast, brought to you by Phelps Game Calls, with your hosts, David Crane and David Sandana. All right, Dave, back at it for 2023. This is our first recording in the new year, even though 2 episodes have came out already.
Yep.
This is our first time back recording for 2023. So, welcome back, bud.
Yeah, woo! We're on to the next year. We have actually almost completed our first year.
Dang.
We're getting close. We're 3 months out.
It seems like yesterday when we just started this. We were sitting here. I don't even remember what it was. Luke was in town and he was sitting here. He was sitting right here where there's nobody now. But it came out of the blue, kind of out of nowhere. We talked about it for a minute, and then you're just like, I got a roadcaster or podcaster unit.
Yeah.
So we just plugged it in and went for it, and now it's been 30 something episodes. It's been an adventure and fun, intermixed with everything else. It's surprising that a lot of things start and everybody has like good ideas. They're like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then it doesn't turn out that awesome.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you get tired of it. It's been a month or two, and then people get worn out and they stop recording for some reason.
Well, to be honest, man, it's just been fun. And when I was even talking about wanting to start a podcast, I talked to you and was like, man, would you want to do the podcast with me? It'd be kind of weird for me just to be sitting, by myself talking about hunting when, sometimes it's better with that interaction.
It is. The interaction goes a long way, because it's hard to talk about. It's like an opening monologue. You have this monologue. It continues on, and you're trying to come up with new things to say. And it's much better when two minds collaborate, and then you can recall things, and you have interjection, and then conjecture, and all these other things that people talk about. And sometimes we give a little ribbon in there too. So
Yeah, it's really fun.
be a lot less smiles if there's only one of us here.
That's for sure. But yeah, man, it's just been fun, and coming into this new year, we have set some goals. We're getting ready to do the Sportsman Show here in Washington. I think they call it the Seattle Sportsman Show, but it's actually in our hometown of Puyallup.
Ooh, put it down for the P.
Yeah, so getting set up for that. I still don't really know how we're gonna go about doing it.
Freestyle, I guess. I mean,
I'm thinking we might just have like a table set up, and we might be at the table for a little bit. But I'm thinking about actually having a sign saying like out for interviews or whatever. So I'm thinking about going to not all the different vendors, but the vendors that we want to talk to and talk about their product or talk about their guide service or, whatever it may be. And you're going to see it on the video, and we'll take the audio from the video and put it on the podcast. So we'll actually have like a Sportsman Show little segment or series. It might be a few, because I'm going to be there, I think, Wednesday night or Tuesday night setting up, because it starts on Wednesday. I'll be there Wednesday after work. And then Thursday and Friday, I'll be there at 12:30. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'll be there from open to close.
Committed.
Yeah, man. We got to get it. Want to get the name out there and, just let everybody know that, the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast is a real thing. Like we want to get the name out there. We want people to listen and, be a part of the whole adventure that we're doing. It's fun.
It's important. And I feel like talking to people is going to be one of those things that it gets taken for granted, because a lot of people like to just walk around the show and they don't really see what's out there if they don't go. So going to the show is going to be helpful for a lot of people that couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be able to hear and talk to the guides, or hear the guides talk to us, talk to some of the vendors, and just find the ones that are interested in talking and sign some land on their products, because a lot of this stuff is good. These are mom and pops. A lot of them are mom and pop businesses. We support small businesses. I have a small business of my own. And besides this podcast being basically just us, it's in the startup phase, and we're going to expand and keep going.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks to Phelps, they're a great sponsor of ours, and
Yep.
love working with them. And
Phelps has been great actually. A lot of our giveaways were all basically around Phelps game calls. Um, and then we picked up Burpaw towards like the end or maybe the middle of the year. Oh, maybe it was like right before big game, like our big game season.
mm,
Um, because I used the Burpaw when I was out bear hunting. I ended up with a bunch of crud all over my stuff, and dude, it actually works. And then you just fold it and kind of scrub it off, and it just comes off.
turn into a rope. It turns the birds into a
Yeah,
rope.
it's kind of and you can just peel it off, or it just comes off. It's really cool product.
Well, we have to do it on here.
Show them.
Yeah, show them. We'll
Maybe
get
I'll
some
go.
burrs and
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe I'll go crawling through some crud.
Get it done. Yeah, exactly.
And then we picked up a new sponsor for 23. People that follow us on YouTube or Instagram, or even the last couple podcasts, you'd hear our commercial for Rock Creek Archery. That's out in Tukwila, and that's owned by our friend Thomas. And yeah, there's some big things to come.
Yeah, we have a couple more that we're working with right now, try to get things ironed out.
Yep, we can't really say anything yet, but there's another one that we've been talking about, and hopefully that could be a really big sponsor as well.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that one.
We don't really know what it all entails, but we're trying to iron everything out. So
yeah. So yeah, man, the sportsman show is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see, and just see the different people, because you have people they come from Africa, they come from Alaska, they're in Central America. You got Australians there, people from New Zealand, all these different things you can hunt. And I'm interested in the Big Island. We were just talking about vacationing, but I told my wife 17 years ago, I said, next time I go to Hawaii, I'm bringing my bow, because they're archery fans in Hawaii. But also they have a lot of big game. I guess not really. I don't know if you consider that big game, like hogs and boars and the deer. They're not really big like blacktail or anything.
Well, I would say it's big game. Because it would be considered big game here, right? Deer is considered big game.
Yeah.
They have deer, they have goats, they have boar. They do have turkeys, depending on what island you're on. Crazy. But yeah, I've actually talked to the wife as well. It's going to be a very, very expensive trip. But we're trying to figure that all out, because we also talked about Mexico too.
Yeah, the Mexico thing.
So
yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see where we end up going. Yeah, see if we end up going on a vacation.
Yeah,
hopefully we get to bring our bows with us. It'd be
that would be awesome, and definitely would be documented
if
with
we go to Mexico,
the camera.
We're going fishing for sure.
Oh, it's something's happening.
That's the go-to in Mexico and the Yucatan.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's awesome. So we're getting ready for our turkey season.
Yeah.
That's 2 months from now. Just so happens at the same time, that's like our 1-year anniversary right about then.
Pretty close.
That's when I guess what do they call that? Just an anniversary or
I don't know.
There's no special thing for the first year.
For a podcast?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up. I'm not really sure. But yeah, well, what is it? March 14th.
That's the day.
That was the day. I think that was our first podcast release. Was on the 14th. I think we recorded it a couple weeks before that or something like that, but I was trying to figure out everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, March 14th is the 1 year. Maybe we'll have a giveaway for our 1 year.
You do something.
Well, so I'm gonna let this out right now. So you guys are gonna see this or listen to it or see it on the following Monday. But I'm working on a giveaway at the end of the year. Dave, you actually don't. I haven't even told you this.
Hold on, pause. No, go ahead. Tell me now.
I'm trying to do a giveaway, a bow giveaway at the end of the year.
Of 23?
Yep. At the end of 23.
Okay.
But there's some stipulations to it.
Okay.
So by the end of the year, if we can have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube,
free bow.
Also, Now, this is still up in the air, folks, so don't trying to figure things out.
You want me to show them the bow?
No,
I
it's
have it right here. It's an old recurve. They don't want an old recurve.
So it's between 3 manufacturers, the bow, so it'd either be a Martin, an Obsession, or a Darton.
Okay.
Those are the 3. It would be one of those, not all 3, but one of them. And then if we can get, 1,000 followers for us for our podcast. Now this is separate from YouTube for our podcast. I'm gonna be giving away a brand new KUIU guide jacket.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right
So
on.
if that can all happen at the end of the year, we're gonna be giving away some pretty sweet stuff.
Well,
Might even throw in some guide pants.
sounds very possible. The only size option on the guide jacket is small, and pants are 28, right?
We'll see. So this is all still up in the air. I'm still trying to iron out some things, and now this is something that I'm gonna pay for.
Mhm.
This isn't
Personally, this is not.
This
a
is personal.
sponsored deal.
Yeah, this is not. We're not sponsored by KUIU. We're not sponsored by any of these bow companies. This is just something that I want to do to give to the people that are helping support us, and we don't get paid to do this. Like we're doing this for fun, and I want people to have what I believe is some of the best gear. I mean, we wear I wear KUIU, but Dave's got Sitka. He's got
KUIU, First
KUIU,
Light,
First Light. I mean, and it's
Bellas, you name it. I got years of hunting
but
stuff.
I would say like KUIU, Sitka, First Light, probably the best sets of gear you could purchase. Like they really have narrowed it down to like nice fit. Everything works really well. It breathes good.
I've been surprised with the gear because when I was coming up, as a youngster, we used to just wear like cotton pants, and a short sleeve T-shirt with a little front pocket. We'd get that stuff at Walmart or Kmart.
Yeah.
And we'd go out all day with that. Pardon me.
That technical difficulty. Oh, that's okay. So Dave's trying to get our Phelps background back up on the screen. So technical difficulty. We knew that this was going to happen once we started trying to do all these things, but it's fine. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it all ironed up.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't say this very often, but you were right. Should have kept this up here.
Oh well.
There we go.
And we're back. There it is. Giving it up for Phelps here on the screen.
Live action, folks.
Yeah, this is what happens. Ooh.
There we go, hooked up. We're gonna cut all that out, Dave, by the way.
Maybe. We'll see.
We should. Just cut it out.
Who cares? I mean, come on. Whatever. Does it really matter? We have a loose ship here.
Budget that we're working with, it should be more dialed in than this,
What budget?
It's fun. Good. At least we can look back someday and go, you see this? Remember that one time?
But yeah, so that's what I would like to do to give back to the people that are listening and the people that are going to start watching. Because on YouTube, we do have all the audio. So the podcast is on there, the audio. But we've been, asked to start videoing it for YouTube. And I mean, that is the platform for YouTube is video.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you are listening to this on the podcast, our YouTube channel is Ridgeline Hunting. So that's kind of the umbrella of everything because the podcast is the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast. The YouTube is Ridgeline Hunting. And yeah, we're just trying to grow it all, the whole thing.
Let's go back like 15 minutes. Let's talk about the Sportsman Show again.
Okay.
What is your expectation going into this? What do you think? What do you want to get out of it?
Maybe just a little bit more exposure with our local group. I mean, with everyone that goes to the show is there for a purpose, that they're there for hunting or fishing, and that's what we are. We're hunting and fishing. um, and for them to see like, oh, there's some local guys doing the same thing that we're doing, and they're talking about it. So maybe on their commute to work, or if they're farting around in the garage or something, they can listen to us.
Or 6 hour drive turkey hunting.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you can knock out some podcasts with that, you know? I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do too. Whenever I go on long trips, there becomes like a point of I don't know what you call it, but it becomes mundane when you hear the same thing over. You're like, this I can listen to one podcast from one group, and I have to listen to another podcast, and I can go back. I can't listen like 15 in a row of the same podcast because
No, I mix mine up too, man. So
yeah,
I have like all my hunting podcasts, and then I have like actually a bunch of moto podcasts because I dirt bike ride a lot, and I'm a huge fan of supercross and motocross, and or actually now supermoto, that's what they're calling it now. So I have a bunch of those podcasts lined up. So I always like flip flop. So it's like moto hunting. So yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like to me. I tried listening to. So they had this thing on Netflix. It's called like F1 or something like that.
Oh,
About
dude, yeah, that's an awesome series.
so I was watching that. The it was hard for me to follow because I don't know those drivers, right?
Oh, dude,
I'm like brand
I'm a
new to.
huge F1 fan.
I like watching them drive. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. You know, they're going by quick in all the little turns. You're like, dang, that's crazy. But when I listen to a podcast about stuff like
No,
that,
I don't think I could watch. I don't think I could listen to one.
it's like they're talking about this turn 8, you know, and this,
Yeah, the
whatever it
apex
is.
of this turn and blah blah blah, and
You're
coming
like,
out.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I can't even get into it because I didn't see that race and I can't tie back. You have to be like, it's like being a NASCAR fan or any of those motorsports. You know, like, oh man, that one time in 1997, old Dale Earnhardt, man, he was up there tearing it up.
so
You
that's
know, it's
me
like,
with Supercross.
that's what I'm
Like
talking
I've
about.
been watching
The only thing I know
Supercross since
about
like
Supercross
'88.
is Jeremy McGrath, baby.
Oh yeah,
It's old school.
Showtime. Yeah, the king of Supercross. Yeah, that
That's
guy was
it.
a freaking legend. 67 Supercross
And then it
wins. Like,
was,
dude's nuts.
then it was,
Maybe it's like 61 or something. But
who
yeah,
came in after him?
Ricky Carmichael,
Carmichael, yep. And then Dan
James,
Stewart.
James Stewart.
Yeah, James Stewart. See, you got
Yeah.
me.
Now his brother's racing Mookie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Malcolm Stewart. He's a huge fan of that dude. I like Eli Tomac. Dude, yeah, I'm not even getting started on
this is
Supercross.
not a motorcycle podcast,
No,
Dave.
I know. I probably should start one.
Yeah.
um,
I'd be in the corner going, mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. That's what I do when you
Yeah.
guys are talking about duck hunting, which is now starting to end. Right, duck
Right.
hunting is ending. Um,
12 days, I think.
which we need to have a follow up podcast with the guide that we had on.
Mhm.
And then yeah, so we need to follow up on that guy. So that's coming up. We'll figure out his last parts of his season and how they went, and from his text messages that Dave's been getting,
The pictures are
it's
crazy.
been insane. You know what? Maybe when we cut up the video of this, maybe I'll throw up some of those photos
Okay.
so people can see what we're talking about.
Nice. Well, I had killer season here, as a matter of fact.
Oh man, yeah, Dave's been
On it a little bit.
smoking them.
See, here's what I do. Here's my hunting plan. I go to work and I get a phone call. Someone says, "Hey, can you come hunt in the morning?" I'm like, "What day is it? Tuesday? Yeah, I could be there tomorrow." And I think about everything I should do, and I'm like, well, I can always do those things that I should do. This is something that
See, that's
here now.
that's the flexibility of your job, you know, and like your career that you have.
It's not ultimately flexible,
No,
there is
but
a
you
little
have
bit of
that
flexibility in there.
choice. I'm like,
I'm like, it's
you
just
just
gonna
have my
be
guys handle that.
like we'll be done hunting by 10, and I'll be back. I can still go to work half a day.
Right.
2 o'clock rolls around, getting text messages and calls and stuff. People are like, where you at? Like, still in the blind, man. Trying to get this last bird.
They're
You know,
fired up. I just got one more to.
which has never happened this year. We didn't have any like last second birds, but that's usually what happens. This year it was all pretty much done by 10. I mean, every time we went out, we were doing field hunts, and buddy of mine, good friend, he does a lot of stuff with wounded warriors and veterans and takes them out and stuff. But he has, I think, 4 leases now, 4 land leases.
Property leases.
Yeah, working on a massive land lease right now, which is a premier area to go because we've
Like,
heard,
is in the flyway or?
Dude, I can't even mention it. I can't even mention it to you. All I can tell you is that this
I'm
place.
not even invited. Like this is something that I cannot do either. So
Here's the kicker.
it's pretty cool.
This place, I don't even know how many acres they have. Maybe 40 or 50,000 probably.
What?
Yeah, acres locally. And they probably have, I don't know, 35 million chickens. But they're scared of this avian flu, right? So what happens is all these geese and ducks will land in their property. Can't have them there. So they want people to get them out of there.
Nice.
So either you scare
Start
them off,
blasting
or
away.
yeah, you can. It costs a lot of money to patrol that land.
Hmm.
So they're talking about this lease, and it's gonna be crazy. If it comes through, dude,
That's insane.
it is insane. And the odd thing is, you didn't. Well, I won't say you, but I didn't realize there was this many um, ducks and geese. But when he showed me a picture of this field, I mean, it looks like, I don't know what you call it, gravel. I mean, that's how many are on there. You can't even see the ground in a massive field.
That's insane.
Yeah, you're looking at all these little bumps. You're like, those mallards? Oh shit, those are geese. Like thousands of them.
Oh wow.
So they start heading down south, and they end up on these properties, and they don't want them there because of that flu. And we have had issues with our egg supply in the grocery stores. I mean, all over the place, I guess. Um, I didn't hear about it till last week. I still have like 3 dozen eggs, so I'm good. But yeah, I was able to go into the store and just grab some the other day, so I don't. It hasn't impacted us at all. But some places they don't have eggs because of the flu. If that flu gets into the chicken crop, the livestock poultry crop or whatever, um, they have to kill all the birds. They can't let them be sick. They can't just get the sick ones out because it just perpetuates. So what they do is if their birds get sick with the avian flu, they wipe out the whole entire.
Dang.
So you're
That's a
talking
lot.
about,
That's a lot of chickens.
it could be millions of chickens in one
Yeah.
farm. Yeah,
Dang.
and I don't even know if you can eat those birds. You know,
After they've been,
yeah, I don't think that. I
I
think they
wonder if
just
they
burn
can
them.
test them. Who knows, man?
I don't think they'll spend the money on testing them. I think they'll just burn them and have new
Hey,
eggs.
man. To be honest with you, they have cow meat with like pus and stuff
I don't
coming
want
out
to
of
talk
it.
about
So
that, Dave. I'm about to have steak tonight, man. What's wrong with you?
warning you.
Yeah, I heard it's only the organic ones, though. My
Oh yeah,
buddy.
yeah, because they can't like do anything with it or anything. Like,
Yeah, you never know, man. That whole avian flu thing is a whole different deal. To make a long story short, every time we went out this year, we were done by 10. It was insane to see like that many ducks, but we had such a weird weather pattern where it was kind of warm for a long time till October,
yeah,
end of October. I mean, it was 70 degrees here, which is usually I can count on September at like the 23rd, right around the end of elk season. It'll start to rain and it won't stop until about March. So
yeah,
that's about the whole rainy season.
yeah,
And then it's just clouds and some rain and some sun.
yeah.
Well, this year was like 70 degrees until thanks Halloween was like t-shirt weather, and
It was, yeah, it was weird because usually around my birthday it's pretty crappy out, and it was actually fairly nice, and that's in November. And then it was like, I don't know, it was probably like the 17th or something like that. All of a sudden it was just like boom, rain,
yeah,
and then boom, it was 20, and then it was gone again.
yep, then it
Like
went
it's
away.
already like 55, 50.
And
This
so
is winter.
the our weather, because it was so warm, kept a lot of birds up north. And then that cold snap came in. We had that polar vortex. They had all sorts of stuff nationally going on with the weather. Then we had this massive push of birds. I mean, you're talking like locusts. I mean, it was that bad. I mean, to where
It was, yeah.
it was so fun, Dave. Oh my gosh.
Well, so our friend James Roll, he just started duck hunting this year.
It was a good year to start.
Yeah, and he's like skipped out on work, like I'm going duck hunting.
He's
Like
addicted.
he's super, yeah, dude, he's
Oh,
so
dude,
addicted.
it's not hard to become addicted to duck hunting.
It's crazy.
What I did is, so wild game is one of those things where you get some, and as a child maybe somebody didn't prepare it right, or they didn't give it the care it needs. Because a lot of people are used to just cooking chicken from the store, beef from the store. You can't really mess that up. I mean, beef from the store, it's got high fat content. You can do whatever you want. You can't really burn it. I mean, you have to really try hard
I mean,
to
you,
burn
I
or
mean, you can,
overcook it.
yeah, you can overcook it, but I mean,
Takes
it
effort.
takes a long time.
You throw some Montreal on there, and it's good to go. It's pretty much take a steak, put some salt and pepper, or some Montreal, or something else, whatever, dill mushrooms, whatever you want to do. If you're a ribeye guy like me, dill mushrooms, you're good to go.
Mhm.
Butter, saute, done. Um, but it's hard to mess that up because it has a lot of fat. You can overcook it, just like chicken legs. Chicken legs, if you cook them on the grill, I think the longer you cook them, the better they become because they get that char on the outside.
Oh man, I like
But
that.
there's so much fat inside, the meat doesn't get dry. Where like a wild turkey leg, you can
Oh, you can mess that up
that
and
sucker shriveled up like a rubber band.
yeah, yeah,
It tastes about as well
like
too.
yeah, 2 minutes over and it's toasted.
Yeah. So, but like farm raised turkey legs, they got those things on the rotisserie all day. I mean, they're so fat and there's a lot of fat in them, and they just wild game doesn't have the fat content.
Yep.
You can't cook it as long. So what I've done is gotten better with my game prep. I've also became more, I don't want to say connoisseur, but a little more particular with how I prepare the food. And I'm in love with duck breast, man. I've been doing some duck breast recipes. Like I'll slice them in these little medallions, 3/8 of an inch thick. Saute them. I have a like, and I did this thing with the chanterelle mushroom. Oh my god! It was not just one mushroom; it was a group of mushrooms. But I sautéed all these chanterelle mushrooms, some garlic, had some cloves in there, olive oil, had it going, had it all sautéed done. Took my little duck breasts, seasoned them up, had 3/8 of an inch little medallions, tossed them in there, just kept flipping them and flipping them and flipping them until they got to where I was like, oh, these suckers are perfect. Like, I mean, it was delicious. I couldn't believe how good that turned out. But so yeah, that's my new thing is going beyond the field. The total field to table.
Yeah, yeah. You're
And
just taking it to that next step to where it's getting gourmet.
it's getting dude. That burrito you had tonight was deer.
Oh, it was delicious.
Yep, ground deer meat
Well, dude, I
burritos.
started doing those little backstrap things with the wrapped in bacon and
Oh yeah, sure,
dude,
dude, money.
yeah, I've stepped my game up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my new love. I'm going in there. And by the way, if you ever want a mean omelet, I'm your guy. I'm like the omelet king, dude. I can hook an omelet up. I mean, I made some omelets the other day and I was making for the family and I was like, babe, look at this thing. I mean, it was perfect. What do we have in there? Um, I had little button mushrooms I had sliced up. Little button mushrooms, had some onions, green peppers, prosecco, not prosecco. That's a drink. Pour some prosecco in it. Had it's a meat. It's almost like bacon. I think it starts with a PR or something. And I
Mhm.
can't remember the name of it. I bought it for a salad a couple days before, and there's like 2 containers. So I put it in there, cooked that up like bacon, except for it's not as salty as bacon. Had it all stirred together, made my omelets, pop it in there, fold, 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 put them on a plate, topped them with some mushrooms, marshmallows, topped them with marshmallows. Kids loved it. Put the mushrooms on top, and super good.
Super good.
I looking at the plates, I was like, "This is probably like $35 I just did out of 4 eggs." If you went to a restaurant, you're at least $35 here. I mean, one omelet's 14 or $15 plus coffee. So you're
Yeah,
35
you're in
bucks.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good, man. So that's my new thing is that farm to table and or field to table, and just becoming better because there's so many times where as a kid people will give you something you're like, ugh, it's got a weird flavor. I'm all about letting things soak, soaking them in milk, season them, marinate them, brine them, do whatever you have to do, make them good. But that's my thing.
And we're back.
Again, so
Technical difficulty. Camera shut off for some
we're
reason.
working through these bugs in real time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's
I mean, the battery it says that it's full, so whatever.
got to get an IT person up in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing that, spending more time with your rifle, and then when that opportunity comes up like last time, it's
I'm
easy,
smoking that
easy,
thing.
easy put down.
Yeah, I mean, I would have took the shot if it was 350 or something like that, but 500 for me, that I didn't know my turrets. I didn't know any of that stuff, man. I wasn't gonna Kentucky windage 500 yards. I mean, it was 385, but I mean, or 485. I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna just try to wing one.
And he looked after you showed me the video. I don't know if it had the whole time you were seeing him, but he looked like he never stopped really moving.
No, I didn't. I didn't have a shot.
Uh,
At one point, I probably could have shot it in the head, which I would not take that shot, just because it was like
you want to keep that portion anyway.
eating on the stump. Yeah, I don't want a whole blowout on a bear skull. That'd be terrible. So I really didn't have a shot at all. But if I did, I wouldn't have taken it, just because for me that was outside of my effective range. So for me this year, I want to try to build on my effective range and dial in my 308. I've actually been talking to Dave about buying another rifle and blah blah blah. But I think I want to kill a bear with my 308 before I even think about purchasing something else.
Well, my issue, my personal issue, is that I have a problem, and I try to solve it with by purchasing something that's going to make my goal easier to obtain. Right? Like I say, uh, I can't make. I missed a shot on a bear with my 270 WSM. Man, I need to get a 300 Win Mag.
But see, that shoots flatter at longer distances than my 308.
Well, my the 270.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
my thought
that was
I'm
my
gonna
whole
go.
thing. I just want to shoot flatter at a longer distance to take out all the. So when you're working with a turret, you have a bunch of like MOA, right?
Mm.
I don't want to run out of my MOA and be like, crap, I can't get it high enough because it won't. I can't get it out that far.
Yeah.
Because of the scope that I have. The scope that I have a Vortex Viper scope, but it doesn't have a zero stop. So it's like to sight it in, it's already up, and you lift it up and turn it to zero. So I'm missing out on a bunch of MOA because of how the turret is built on that specific scope. So I think I'm just gonna purchase a different scope and put that on my 308, so I have more MOA to work with. If that makes any sense. You'd have to
Yeah,
probably
it's
you'd probably have to
complicated.
see the scope to understand what I'm talking about, but
I understand what you're saying. I know they have mounts that give you MOA by lifting the front or lowering the front of the. It actually lifts the front of your front scope ring higher, so it gets you to that zero easier.
easier.
Yeah, so you're gonna gain MOA there and adjustment, but that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing, and I don't know hardly much about that at all, other than the fact that they exist. Someone was telling me
I'm a very green rifle guy.
there's always a solution to your problem. There's been rifles forever, and they've, if you want to go
Well, I'm
quickly
just used
down
to
under, you
my
get that long, tall scope.
to like a 3x9 scope, and seriously like practicing at 100 to 350, and that's it.
And that's probably where you're going to end up shooting after you do all this work.
Maybe
It
it might be
right?
80 yards.
Yeah,
That'd be
hopefully.
a nice slam dunk.
Yeah, my buddy, he shot a nice bear with a call. Came in, it was like 15 feet.
It happens,
You
man.
know, he said he didn't have to use the scope. He just pointed the gun at it. Because he's sitting there with two of his kids calling.
Oh
The
yeah.
bear came in, and he just pointed the rifle at it and shot it.
I don't have luck like that.
Yeah,
I gotta work my butt off to possibly see a butt
He's
somewhere.
done that a couple times, but with different critters.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have luck like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Me
don't.
neither, dude. I always
Like-
got to get them on the run or something. They never like to stand
Something
still.
always
They
happens.
know I mean business. That's why
Like,
they don't stand around.
So I've been watching all these different hunting videos. I mean, anybody that watches hunting or is in hunting, you've probably watched some videos, and just people get lucky, man. Like
You got to be there.
I'm like, dude, that would never happen to me. That never happened to me ever.
Yeah, there's some things that just
Just
happen.
have to I work my ass off.
The guy, someone was telling me the other day, they were like, I walked up this hill, and then they were bugling by my truck. Was that you telling me about? Was it turkey hunt? Oh, it was on your
That was
video.
turkey
Yeah,
hunting,
it was
dude.
turkey hunt. You're like, I walk up this hill, and then down by your truck, they're gobbling down by your truck. So that happens to
20
us.
feet.
That happens to us elk hunting one time. We parked the truck in some snow, and then we were going up in this hike. We went on this big old long hike. We come back, and there's new elk tracks in the fresh snow by our truck.
Yeah, that was there.
Oh, okay, you were there.
That was at Helen's. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like, yeah.
Like, what the freak, man?
Yeah,
Like,
it's 17 degrees.
yeah, so you can
Yeah.
get as long as you're there, you have a chance. It's just a matter of averages
Oh
and then when
yeah.
it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And
You
so,
can't kill anything
are you
from the
overdue
couch.
for that to happen to you? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping here soon.
It's time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm really looking forward to 23. I'm looking forward to every single hunting season. Um, we gotta, Mike is ready and going again, man. He's dialed up his bow. We got a new sight and all this other stuff. His brother actually started too.
Yeah.
He wants to hunt. So it's like there's a lot going on and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I wanna probably end end pretty quick here because we got something we have to do.
Yeah.
But, something that kinda made me sad this week.
What's that?
So, what's today? Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Monday night, I got a phone call at 5 o'clock,
Oh God. I know where this is going.
and my buddy goes, "Hey, can you skip work tomorrow to go steelhead fishing me on the Quinault Reservation?" I was like, "Let me think about this. What do I gotta do?" He's like, "Absolutely, I can do that. No problem. I got it. No problem." I started thinking about it, and I had to not do it. I didn't go. But he had waited for 2 years on this list. Like, he scheduled and booked this fishing trip 2 years ago, and, one of his buddies backed out last minute that was scheduled to go with him. He called me up. I couldn't go, but I wanted to tell you he caught a 36-inch, 17-pound native,
Dang.
his all-time best steelhead. Super
His
red.
PR? Nice.
Personal best on that trip, yeah. And it was just crappy weather, I guess, pretty bad rain. The pictures in the river look beautiful, and I'll post the picture with his permission to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast so people can see this fish. I mean, 2 year wait and he catches a personal record. That's there. But I'd like to think if I was with him that I would have been the one catching that fish, and that would have been that would have been shitty.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. Like
like
dang
you call this guy last minute. I'm never calling that guy again. You
it.
know.
Well,
So,
before we go, let's listen to our sponsors here for real quick.
okay.
This section of the broadcast is brought to you by Burpaw, burpaw.com.
Use Ridge 15 at checkout to receive a sweet discount.
Hey everybody, if you are looking for a game call that is elk, turkey, deer, predator calls, waterfowl calls, we highly recommend PhillipsGameCalls.com. Professional grade game calls made for every hunter.
Archery hunters, listen up. If you find yourself in the heart of King County, do yourself a favor and stop in at Rock Creek Archery, located in Tukwila. They have everything you need if you're just beginning to the sport or you've been shooting for 20 years, even an indoor shooting range. Or check them out at rockcreekarchery.com.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's 9 o'clock.
It is 9 o'clock and I have some,
Things to do.
yeah, I got to pick up some stuff.
Yep. All right, buddy. Been a pleasure. We're looking forward to the 1 year.
Yeah,
Gotta
man.
get everything lined out. Sportsman show, duck hunting season recap. We're gonna have Cody back on here. Get her squared away.
That and we actually have a podcast that didn't really record that we need to do again.
Yeah.
A fishing trip that went awry. Oh no, it was a duck hunting
yeah.
trip over water.
And that was my bad. I recorded that thing, and for some reason, the
It
thing,
only recorded your voice for some reason.
it's funny because you hear me talking. So blah 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 blah. Question. No, nothing for 25
It was
seconds.
like a while.
then me talking again, then nothing. So, we got those bugs worked out. We'll go from here.
Hopefully we'll have that guest back on. And then we have a lot of plans coming up here soon. Hopefully we can get Dirk Durham on. He's been talking to us. He's actually the one that sent us all the Phillips calls that we gave away last year. Hopefully we'll be able to do that again this year. Yeah, I have to contact Dirk also for the show. We might have some Phillips game calls to give away at the Sportsman show. So if you can, make it to the Sportsman show. And yeah, 23, man, it's going to be a good year.
All right. Good night, everybody.